4 questions, 4 responses from the hungriest people on the planet. I'm Bill Mashaki. This is 4 Golden Nuggets. Today we got Jeff Moore, TED speaker, founder of Everyday Power Blog on the show, to talk about the power of spreading positive content online. This is 4 Golden Nuggets.
I gotta grind, won't stop, hustle, won't quit, shine like no other, I be on some other shit. I got a high price lifestyle, super bad, if I want it, bet I got it, if I don't bet, all I gotta do is go, get, stay about my business.
Jeff Moore, I want to welcome Jeff Moore to the show.
Thank you for having me, Bo.
Jeff is an awesome guy. He's the founder of Everyday Power Blog, very popular blog online. I've written a couple guest blog posts for him. He's a TED speaker. He also has a history of doing some teaching in New York City and abroad in India. Exactly the kind of person we love to have on the show. Thank you for being on the show, Jeff. Welcome to Golden Nuggets.
Thank you for having me.
So the first question, the first nugget of the day is, you run a very popular motivational blog. So what is your advice to all the up-and-coming bloggers and YouTubers and motivators like myself that are trying to build a big following online?
Great question. For me, developing a motivational blog, inspirational self-improvement site, for me, it became very naturally because I was a student to the subject.
Right.
It was something that was dear to my heart. I loved it. I didn't do it because I saw other people doing it and having success. Bo, I think a lot of people fail because they see something that they like, it inspires them,
right,
and they try to imitate it. Just because you like it, you love it, doesn't necessarily mean that that's your lane. Me, as you said, I was an educator up in Harlem, up in India. So all great educators, Bo, were motivators. And for me, it was just a natural extension of what I was doing. And I love it. And since I love it, I'm able to stay committed to it from the 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, when the only people who were reading it were my mother and my sister telling me about typos. You know, so in the beginning, you can't expect a lot of traffic. You can't expect a lot of growth. You've got to do it for the love of the topic and the love of the impact.
Yeah, so if you love the topic, you're passionate about the subject, and if you stay consistent, you can be successful.
Absolutely.
That's really sharp advice. And I noticed, I was reading the story of how you created the Everyday Power Blog, about being in the classroom. Kids were looking at negative content like gossip and music videos and clothes and stuff, and you wanted to create a place where they could find some positive content. So what can we do to accomplish that, to put more positive and uplifting content out there on the internet? Like, what can we do individually to make the internet a better place?
Great. And I just want to make one thing clear. You know, I have nothing personally against gossip, sneakers, music videos.
Right.
However, I do have a problem with people focusing so much of their time on what other people are doing and not what they're doing.
Right.
That's the problem.
100%.
And so I was a teacher. We were looking at 2 blocks of roads that grew from concrete, 7th grade, uptown. And when I'm working with the students, I'm giving out the laptops. The assignment was, okay, we just read Tupac's poem. Now I want you to go online. He compared life to a rose grown from concrete. Now I want you to go online, find another story that compares life to something else. It could be, you know, and we brainstorm some ideas. It could be a boat. It could be a roller coaster. It could be a beach chair, as Jay-Z says. And then when I walked around the room to see what everybody was doing, as you said, all I saw was, fights, sneakers.
World Star Hip Hop.
That's it, just straight nonsense. Nothing that's going to add any value to their life.
For sure.
So when I had this idea, like most people, I didn't act on it immediately. It just marinated. It took some time. And after actually, about a year or 2, is when I said, you know what? I'm listening to all these people. I'm studying all these people. I'm reflecting on my own life. I'm going to start documenting my own insights. I'm going to start giving some of my own advice. And I had a vision that it would be big, but I never knew it would be this big. And I never knew that the vision right now for Everyday Power is to put inspirational content in front of 1 billion people within 10 years. So we're asking the question, what would the world look like if every morning millions of people woke up to uplifting information, as opposed to murder and tragedy
Dark
on the
stories.
news.
Yeah.
Right. Because just because it's on the news doesn't necessarily mean it's news. They're trying to sell, right? So if it leads, as they say, right? So we're trying to counteract that.
Right. And that's such a big deal, such a powerful message, and that's so important, and I think that's what the world needs. So I'm glad you shed some light on that. Speaking of good content, you did a TED Talk on innovation and resilience a little while back, about a year ago.
Right.
And that was an incredible speech, really inspiring. So what's your advice to all the up-and-coming people that want to be TED speakers out there on how to take the first step?
Great. So I literally gave that speech maybe 4 or 5 days after just landing from India. I was teaching in India for 2 years, me and my fiance. And that experience was incredible. It was an awesome experience. Yeah. And I spoke about personal innovation. Yeah. A lot of times we hear, and of course I won't say everything, people can go and please check it out. We hear about innovation in regard to products, companies, but we don't talk about how we can create a massive turnaround for ourselves. Yeah. And that's what the talk was about. And so in regard to how to go about getting a TED Talk, I think a few basic things have to be in place. One, you have to have something original and meaningful to say. You can't just go up there because you want to speak. It's not that easy. You've got to have something original.
Something to say. Yeah.
Something to say. Two, you have to be a pretty good communicator. Right. You have to be a student of communication. A lot of people want to be speakers, but they're not students of communication. Right. And they're just trying to copy and sound like everybody else. Yeah. Very important to be a student of the game. Yeah. Student of the game.
Right. Awesome. That TED Talk was one of the best I've seen. So 100% congratulations on that. In that TED Talk, you mentioned a stat that I thought was really captivating. You said that the odds of being born a human being are 1 in 4 trillion. Yeah. Just astronomically rare. So how can we, as individuals, appreciate that huge blessing and that miracle of being born here as a human being? How can we appreciate that on an everyday basis?
I think it's so incredibly easy to overlook all the small stuff that's pure blessings every single day. Yeah. Absolute pure blessings. And we get so caught up in our own problems that we can't even see all the magnificence and all the miracles going on around us every single day. Yeah. And so I'm sure, Bo, a lot of people watching this are going to be very interested in how to be entrepreneurs or how to be more successful, more productive. Right. And it all starts with appreciating what you have.
What you already have.
You have to have gratitude in every single moment. And that sounds simple, but we can't confuse simple with easy. Just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. And training our brain to be incredibly thankful allows us to tap into a more creative energy, a more committed energy that will allow us to make our goals real. So when I say that, we're all a miracle, and it's 1 in 4 trillion, which is a stat actually from a Harvard professor, Dr. Ali Benazar. Right. And there are so many factors that go into us being here. So just real quick in a nutshell, everybody you see walking around, you want to get everybody, all these people, right? Something that we overlook, this magnificent truth, massive truth that we overlook, is that everybody living represents an unbroken link to life from the very beginning of time. An unbroken link to life. Wow. And we have to think about how much, think about warfare, genocide, our parents meeting, our parents having a kid, us coming out how we came out. The odds are stacked. And just because there are 7 billion people doesn't mean the odds are any less stacked. Yeah. And really tapping into the idea of just being thankful for being here every moment. And when you're thankful for being here, you feel like doing something special and doing something unique with your life. Right.
And what that does, when you are appreciative and when you are grateful, first of all, it makes you happier, and it opens up your eyes to the gifts that you do have and the opportunities that are everywhere around us.
Yeah, Bo, I think you said a key word right there, which is gifts. And I always love asking people, what are their gifts?
Yeah.
And for some people, they know it immediately. For others, it's they have to think about it. It's a little bit more difficult. But I think it's so important for all of us to recognize our gifts at some point in our life and take them seriously.
Absolutely.
Because when we see people who are successful or who seem like they're becoming successful at a rapid rate, it's because they're operating within their gifts. They're doing stuff that is directly aligned with their gifts, and that's such a key thing. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't take their gifts seriously. Oh, I'm just a photographer, or I'm just good at conversation. But those are all gifts. Gifts don't have to be music, sports. It can be if you're great at networking, that's a gift. If you're great at connecting ideas, that's a gift. If you're great at crunching numbers, that's a gift. And so when we operate within our gifts, that can elevate our level of success.
Jeff, I want to thank you for that insight that you just shared. I know this is one of my best episodes so far. I want to congratulate on all the accomplishments that you've had.
Thank you very much.
And the work that you're doing at Every Power Blog is real powerful stuff, man. So keep doing what you do. Thank you for being on the show, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Thank you.